This is a really great day. I'm very, very excited about today. Thanks for all of you for joining. First, I do want to recognize some folks who are here who were true partners in working on this initiative. One is Dan McCoy, of course. Dan was such a good partner right there in the housing agenda broadly, but especially on this initiative. And I know Wanda is coming in right now, our Deputy Chair, Wanda Willingham, who also spent decades of her professional career working on housing initiatives. We also have my besties in the legislature. Just want to thank you guys. We also have Kevin O'Connor, and great partner on this initiative as well, Kevin Catalano from the Advanced Albany County Alliance, our economic development arm. Most recently, on November 5th, 2025, we passed Local Law G in Albany County by a unanimous vote, which establishes affordable housing as a public purpose in Albany County. On February 9th, we passed Local Law L, which established the Affordable Housing Initiatives Plan, which authorized the creation of the Affordable Housing Committee and laid out, this is really important, a sustainable ongoing funding stream for the purposes of expanding the supply and availability of affordable workforce housing through the creation and administration of loans and other support services for developers. Okay, so the way it works, as the county is repaid, those funds will be deployed for financing future projects. The Albany County Alliance already has these revolving loan funds in operation through two mechanisms that we work on and the Alliance works on a daily basis. One is the LTEC Loan Fund that finances in a revolving loan fund mechanism supporting businesses and economic development in the county. And the other is the STAGE Act, a similar mechanism. So where does the money go? It goes to the Alliance, this architecture, and they will house a new oversight committee that we will create. Well, we created the architecture of it in the legislation, Local Law L, and provide the administrative resources needed to help this fund thrive. So last week, the Audit and Finance Committee, chaired by our Deputy Chair, Wanda Willingham, actually took a very important step that initiated the approve of a transfer of $1.6 million, which is seed money that will go into this revolving loan fund. We have the homeowner tax exemption for the accessory dwelling units. That helps kind of create a new supply through a tax code change. The first-time homebuyer navigator program, that I think at the last event you mentioned, well, it was your State of the County, you mentioned that has already helped 2,100 new homebuyers in Albany County to figure out this is a system that can be very complicated for people who have never done it.
There's models and things we can look at and studies that have been done. And we need to look at that, but we need to move in a quick mathematical way to get to the variable to give people an opportunity to have a house, a roof over their head. And I can't do this without the legislature and Alliance and Kevin and his team, but I had to go out and educate myself. And then I had to look at all the red tape in government, and that's why we did the Alliance, because all the red tapes of the IDAs and CRCs are getting to territorial fights. Instead of saying, what's best for our people? What's best for our community? The navigation program was the most important piece of the puzzle, because it's overwhelmingly, when you go in to buy a house and you got this one telling you this, that one telling you this one saying, come to our bank, it's a better interest rate, but the application fee is $800 more. Or, hey, this is what you need, and oh, put this in your credit. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And, and the chairwoman and Wanda and the legislature let me do it. And to have over 2,100 people use that program says this is something we should have done a long time ago. But we already put up 1.6 million. We're putting up another million. Yes, we're taking some of the money out of the contingency funds. No, we're not raising taxes. But I like to remind people when I knock on the door, and I love the people that hit me when, like, well, what do I care about this service? Why do I care about speech or OT? Or why do I care about someone's getting food or heat? I always look at them, I go, thank God you don't need it. Thank God you don't need any of these services. And I'm happy for you, but there's people that need these services. There's people that need help getting in. And when that person gets in and their house gets into a stabilized house, guess what's going to happen? They're going to start spending more money in the community, at the little store down the street, the grocery store around the corner, going out in the community, going to restaurants, taking pride, and not knowing, like, we sit there and people argue sometimes, oh, I'm going to go to Florida for vacation. I can fly here. I can fly to Mississippi, Tennessee. And some people are fighting to whether or not to pay the heat bill or to pay the electric bill or how to put groceries.
When we throw around dry terms like housing needs or substandard shelter or affordable, what we really need to be thinking about is the harsh reality such terms really describe. It means children that some of them, they're shivering and they're getting sick. It means schoolwork is undone. It also means that, they're failing tests. It means families are cramped into houses too small and still too expensive. We still have some people sleeping in cars on the front stairs right out here on State Street, or apartments with no insulation or heat. There's holes in the walls and all types of different bug infestations. It means suffering. It means a dulling of potentially bright futures, and it means shame and a loss of hope. So today I can tell you proudly that this revolving loan fund and this housing agenda, we're going to make a difference. There are approximately 41,000 people living in poverty in Albany, and more than 9,000 of them children. But that shouldn't be a permanent fact. The Albany County Legislature's housing agenda is working to change just that. Stable housing just doesn't improve lives, it saves them. Better housing lowers crime, it stabilizes finances, and puts people on a more productive path.
But the next steps are to operationalize this housing committee with the Alliance. We're going to be very active, engaged partners with you. And it's also creating the sustained mechanism that's already in law, but being mindful of kind of what that looks like and being on top of all that. But we look forward to that whole process, which will have enormous impact for the county. So thank you all for coming.